Chapter 093 The Mountain and River Ranking begins. For the next 2 months, Fang Han kept an extremely low profile. Except for the last 3 days of every month, when he went to the scripture transmission courtyard to listen to the transmission elders preach the Tao, he stayed cooped up in his own cave abode and pill room all day, never speaking to any other disciples, never stirring up any trouble, as meek and obedient as a little lamb. Though most of the cultivation methods for the mortal body realm that the elders taught were no longer of much use to his current cultivation, he still listened with great attentiveness. He knew that stepping into the mystic ability realm had all been thanks to the power of the Sun-Moon 5-star bracelet. Without that Pyryang magic treasure, he would not have reached the mystic ability realm for at least another year. Thus, his foundation was not very solid, and he had only a vague understanding of how to convert spiritual energy into magical power. But after days of listening to the elders preaching, he gradually gained clarity. The transformation between the physical body, spirit, magical power, and all other aspects, as well as the specifics of cultivation, were now all clear and plain to him, every part understood. The lectures had benefited him greatly. He had not exposed his true strength during this time. He was biding his time, waiting to stun everyone at the mountain and river ranking tournament. He would not speak until his voice shook the world. As for the white-haired witch of the Great Azura, she also stayed in her quarters all day, helping him refine all kinds of magical tools, spirit talismans, and pills. Only experts of the mystic ability realm who had magical power could begin refining pills and magical tools. They produced a whole series of practical talismans: Concealment Talisman, Swift Wind Talisman, Golden Edge Talisman, Spirit Step Talisman, Adamantine Talisman, Demon Warding Talisman, and more. They could also refine beggar pills and essence pills, though this required a great deal of spiritual herbs and materials. But the Great Azura, which had stored not only law crystals but also plenty of subterranean spiritual herbs and ores in her underground castle, there was more than enough to refine all the tools and pills they needed. Fang Han had his own cultivation to focus on, so he left all the menial work to the witch. Anyway, Yin had already tempted the witch, saying that as long as she proved sufficient loyalty, he would teach her a set of supreme divine abilities from the Yellow Spring sect. The Yellow Spring sect had once been the #1 demonic sect in the world. Even the innate demon sect could not compare to it, and its divine abilities were extraordinary beyond measure. As soon as the witch heard this, she immediately agreed to do the work, for this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Over these 2 to 3 months, Fang Han cultivated extremely hard. Every day he condensed his magical power, then jumped into the pill furnace, using the flame from Law Crystal Jade to boil Yellow Spring holy water and temper his body. After entering the mystic ability realm, the gate of heaven had opened wide for him, his mind was clearer than ever, and all his latent potential was fully awakened. His Yanluo golden body also began to improve. The faint golden glow on his skin had been completely cultivated away, fully concealed. When he was not circulating his power, he looked no different from an ordinary person. But the moment he moved and tensed his physical body, golden light flowed all over him, making him invulnerable to blades and spears. Even flying swords of the spirit treasure rank could hardly wound him. With magical power empowering it, the strength of the Yanluo golden body had already far surpassed the scale armor of an Azura. As for Princess Hami, she had already stepped into the 10th level of the mortal body realm, the divine transformation realm. She cultivated quietly every day, and occasionally snuck over to Fang Han's residence to discuss refining talismans and pills with the witch. Strangely enough, the witch got along very well with her. Fairy Crane had also begun her cultivation. Fang Han had taught her all the spiritual cultivation techniques he had learned from the transmission elders, including the cave void breathing technique and the vast chi of heaven and earth. She had already begun her transformation during the month in the underground castle, and with the help of the Sun-Moon 5-star bracelet to temper her body, her transformation had advanced even further. A few days prior, Fang Han had taken Fairy Crane outside the mountain to search for the gallbladder of a great yellow snake over 100 years old to refine beggar pills. They unexpectedly encountered tens of thousands of venomous snakes. He was just about to unleash his magical power to slay them when Fairy Crane let out a crane cry that shook the 9 heavens. All tens of thousands of snakes immediately went limp and numb, collapsing to the ground, completely drained of their fighting strength. This was because Fairy Crane now possessed an extraordinarily powerful spiritual force, capable of shaking the minds of the swarm of snakes, and even projecting all kinds of illusions to bewilder ordinary people. This level of cultivation was already enough to qualify her as a demon cultivator. If she took one more step forward into the mystic ability realm, and tempered her body with true chi over a long period of time, Fairy Crane could even shed all her feathers and gradually transform into a human. Yet this was an extraordinarily difficult task. For beasts to cultivate to the mystic ability realm was far harder than for humans, and they also required the enlightenment and help of someone with extremely high cultivation to achieve it. Over these 2 months, every person beside Fang Han had been making constant progress. The day of the mountain and river ranking tournament drew ever closer. Then one day, the weather turned cold suddenly. A night of north wind brought heavy snowfall of goosefeather-sized flakes. Deep winter had arrived. Even for a cultivation sect like Yuhua Guide on Yuhua Mountain, the change of the 4 seasons could not be avoided. Though experts of the mystic ability realm could alter the climate, there was no need to waste their magical power on such a thing. What a heavy snow! Fang Han walked a lap around his courtyard. The snow was already 3 feet thick, crunching under his feet. The crisp cold bit at the skin, the chill of ice and snow seeped into his lungs, giving him the refreshing feeling of a spiritual purification in the snow. The tournament is only a few days away. I can see all the inner sect disciples getting nervous. You should take that constellation power-gathering pill now, Yin urged. I've soaked this pill in Yellow Spring holy water for a month. All spiritual imprints have been erased, nothing remains but pure medicinal power. All right. Fang Han returned to his pill room, took out the constellation power-gathering pill, snapped open the sealed crystal container, took out the pill, but did not swallow it immediately. Instead, he wrapped it in a stream of his magical power. Boom! The moment the pill came into contact with Fang Han's magical power, it changed immediately. A huge explosion erupted, and it transformed into countless starry vortexes that wrapped Fang Han within them. What powerful medicinal force! It's so overbearing, ordinary people could never withstand it. It's not as gentle and consistent as the 9 apertures golden pill. Fang Han immediately sensed the pill's properties. Even a divine transformation expert would have their body explode instantly if they ate this pill. He sat cross-legged, forcefully circulating his magical power to absorb the medicinal power. 1 hour passed, then 2, 3, 4, 5. Countless starry vortexes gradually rotated around his magical power, then merged into it, becoming pure natal life energy. Fang Han sensed that new vortexes had appeared within his magical power. Turbines, swirling currents, powerful and forceful. His magical power had been tempered into something far tighter and more solid. It surged and roared, boundless. He did not know how much time had passed before Fang Han suddenly opened his eyes, crystalline light shining within them. He stood up abruptly, his entire body as imposing as a mountain. Just as expected, this constellation power-gathering pill is a top-grade spiritual pill. My current magical power can probably hold back 100 horses. The strength of 100 horses. Dong! 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 Suddenly the sound of a bell carried over to him. The door creaked open, and Princess Hongyi and the witch walked in. Fang Han, this is the bell to summon all inner sect disciples. The mountain and river ranking tournament is about to start. You've been in closed cultivation for 3 whole days and nights. Really? I've been sequestered this long? Fang Han was stunned for a moment, then said, "All right, let's go. Fang Xiaolin, you stay inside the Yellow Spring map. Do not show yourself under any circumstances. Once I am promoted to true disciple, it will be acceptable for me to have you by my side." For true disciples with profound magical power, keeping a great Azura in their service was nothing out of the ordinary. As he finished speaking, Fang Han stepped out of the door. The mountain and river ranking tournament had finally begun.